Merry Christmas. Folks, how you doing? It's Kurt here. Mañana No Mas. Just finishing up a little bit of work here. Christmas Eve. Don't feel bad for me. My daughter came to visit a couple of weeks ago. We took some time then, and so this is my time to kind of plow through and get some stuff done. I hope that you are enjoying your Christmas Eve, the time off that you may have earned, and just getting that rest that everybody needs to get. Like I said, I took some time a couple weeks ago, and my daughter came to visit. I wanted to jump out and just say, what a year, and let you know how grateful I am to those that are kind of, in my circles, in my influence, things like that. I was starting to write out in the description folks that I wanted to especially call out, with a bit of thankfulness, with a bit of gratefulness, for just being so supportive in the 2023 year. I put obviously LifterLMS in there. Being integrated with LifterLMS at the level that I am has enabled me to grow so much further in what I do with WordPress, especially considering membership and learning websites, where I think my specialty really lies. Then, of course, there's WP-Tonic, working directly with Jonathan. Jonathan has made me a co-host on his multiple podcasts, and it's given me exposure to people and products. Normally, let's just be honest, as a struggling agency getting launched, you wouldn't get to experience, all of the coolest tools from all of the coolest creators and product owners if you didn't have this kind of association. And so through Jonathan, I've met a lot of really, really cool people like Jason Cohen and Anil Gupta and gosh, even pardon me, even David Valentine, met through the podcast. So tremendous connections and work and a sense of gratefulness. Of course, I got to thank my wife. She put up with us moving from California to Kansas. Now, she picked the spot. It's close to family for her. And I thought, well, I'm working remote, so it doesn't really matter. But, as long as we're close to some kind of mountain biking or some kind of reasonable bicycling or some kind of internet connection, we're going to be able to make this work. And to say that there's no regrets in moving to Kansas is an understatement. It's been such a blessing to my family, to my business, and to everything. I mean, the part of Kansas that we're in is actually kind of booming, and it's been really good to be here. So we've only been here since September, but we have experienced business growth, personal growth, social growth. My son is back in school. He was homeschooled in California. Here, we decided to put him into the school system and see how that would go. And he's doing so well. So, what a blessing. What a huge blessing that is. I think about folks that really kind of adopted us and took us under their wing. I think of folks like Bill and Marla Getty out there in California. Wonderful people. Bill owns a company called JRC Engineering, does a lot with power sports, parts supply, things like that, and is also, integrated with the church that we went to. So that was really important. That was a great connection there. John and Lisa ran our small group. It gave us a little more courage in knowing that, we had a support network. If something just went horribly wrong, we had a support network. We had people that we could depend on if we had to. On the business side of things, I think of people like Steve Jones. Steve Jones is an inspiration to me, works in power sports. He's a little senior to me, just a little bit, but I really enjoy my conversations with Steve. And unfortunately, I thought I was going to meet him in Tampa last month, but I've never actually met the man. I consider him a dear friend, but I've never actually met the man. So I'll have to make that a thing to do here real soon. Joe Iribarren, him and I have stayed in touch over the last year and have worked out there. And then one of the names that I forgot to put in the description that I really probably should have was Timothy Morgan of Giver Marketing Network. The Giver Marketing Network is something like 70 or 75 agencies strong in digital networking and marketing and things like that. And Timothy runs that's his brainchild. And he's just such a good person to be connected to. And so, folks, I see you coming in here to the live. If you're seeing this, shame on you. You should be with family. It's a holiday. It's like me. Otherwise, feel free to drop in a comment. If I see comments pop in, maybe we can interact, or I can talk to you or answer a question or something like that. But as I look forward to what 2024 is going to bring and kind of give you a snapshot of what 2024 might look like, we already know that 2023 was a great year of transition for Mañana No Mas. I mean, we escaped California, we got to Kansas. We're starting to feel a little more secure. I think secure is the right word. Our client list has been amazing since the move. Instead of these little tiny projects here or there, we've gotten a couple of healthy projects in. And, the way that we run our billing and everything like that, it's been a really positive move. So, we've reduced our, I shouldn't be giving any kind of secrets here. Going from Southern California to Kansas, we lowered our overhead by 65%. Folks, that's crazy talk. So when you lower your expenses by 65%, but you keep your revenue kind of the same, it frees you up to think, oh my goodness, the world is my oyster. I have opportunity now. What can I do? How can I seize this day? How can I move forward? And that's what it's been like for us since we've gotten here in September. It's been a whirlwind of optimism. So when I look at 2024, I know that I already have 2 sizable projects right in front of me. And what's interesting is both of them are in the beauty industry. How crazy is that? Because I'm not a beautiful person. Thank goodness I have a sense of humor, because I know what I look like. So both of my larger projects are in the beauty industry. We've got a medium product where they're using a membership and learning type website to run live workshops. They're not hosting actual content. They're not hosting real e-learning content. They are doing live workshops through their LMS. And so that's a project that I'm working on as well. That's going really, really, really well. And as we go into 2024, I'm saying bold things like, I want to start hosting WordPress meetups. I got to figure out what you got to do to get certified, certified to do that through WordPress. So I want to start holding some WordPress meetups here in the, Wichita, Hutchinson area. The other thing is, there'll be another book coming from me this year. I put out a book last year called Action Leadership from the Edge. And then in 2007, I'd put out a book called Service Writing in Black and White. Now, that was a trade book, and that was focused on automotive and power sports. It changed the trajectory of my family. By putting something in writing, by publishing something and becoming an author, you skip over a lot of steps on the pathway to success. And so I have learned that I can leverage this authorship idea into other segments of life. And so last year I did Action Leadership from the Edge. I've already been paid as a speaker to talk about action leadership in service, action leadership in sales, action leadership in business. And that's an extension of having written that book. So in 2024, I'll be coming out with yet another book, and that'll be so I can grow my speaking career in other branches and kind of bring everything in together like a nice little nest. I don't know what you got going on. What would be really cool if you're watching this as a replay is just jump into the comments and let me know what you're excited about in 2024. I would love to be part of your team that is just rah, 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 and pushing you towards success. We can look at the news and we can watch our Twitter feed and we can see negativity. We can see things that are going wrong. You can see that if you think, hey, I might feel this way about this, I feel this way about this side of an argument, well, then people on this side of the argument are going to be like, you're a murderer, you're a killer, you're a racist, you're a phobic, you're a whatever. And then you can say, well, no, now I feel like I'm on this side of the argument. And then these people over here would just be like, well, then you're this, you're that, you're the other, you're, a supremacist, you're whatever. And there's no winning in these arguments. And so I'm going to say it's okay to disagree with people, but you don't necessarily have to take a side. Just because I disagree with you doesn't mean I dislike you or I hate you, or maybe you don't understand the nuance of my position, right? Because maybe it's a piece of this or a piece of that, or a segment of an idea that makes sense. And so, folks, I would encourage you, like I was saying earlier, let's focus on the positives and not the negatives. Let's look for the opportunities within the obstacles. Let's find the silver lining around those clouds and put in your comment that lets me know what's your goal for 24. How can I be your cheerleader in 2024? I already told you what I'm doing. I'm growing my agency. I'm taking more speaking gigs, and I'm putting out another book, and I'm trying to figure out what I have to do to be able to host WordPress meetups in my area. Those are four very strong stepping stones in growing my presence just having moved to this area. I'd love to know what you're working on. So I encourage you, have a great weekend, take a break, get a beverage, and really think about what you want to do, and then write it down. If you're too scared to write it down in the comments here, at least write it down for yourself on a sticky note or a pad of paper or a journal somewhere, something that you can look at every now and then and go, what am I doing today? What am I doing this week that gets me one step further towards this goal, right? And then that over time will get you where you want to be. I hope you're having a great holiday. Like I said, I'm doing work because I took my time earlier. I took it a couple of weeks ago, but if this is your time to relax, I pray that you are just really enjoying yourself and taking that time. We do have a comment. Speaking for 2024 here as well, Mr. Panzer Dragoon. Nice, man. Good to hear from you. Good to hear from you. As many public speaking gigs as I can get paid to do, I'm going to do. I got off the stage in Tampa. I wasn't even off the stage 5 minutes doing a talk for the Marine Retailers Association when a boat builder from another country said, thank God I saw you in person. Your energy level's crazy in person. I want to hire you to speak at our dealer meeting next year. Like that's the way it's supposed to work. That's the way it's supposed to go. And so if you're a speaker and you're watching this, I pray that that starts to work out for you. Now, for me, I'm a person of faith. I went to church today. I heard a fantastic message, about the birth of our Lord and Savior and all that stuff that you're supposed to hear at Christmas, but he put a really good twist on it, and it kind of fired me up. If you're a person of faith and you're heading to church or you're heading to whatever your place of worship is, I pray that that message that comes to you is just as strong, just as positive, just as motivating. And if you weren't a person of faith, but you heard something and it tickled your heart just a little bit, I pray that you look into that and you take those next steps. For me, it has been a whirlwind of positivity to be involved in my faith. And I would pray the same for you. Merry Christmas and have a wonderful holiday. I will talk to you or see you guys some other time.